Hi, I'm Chao, and today we have a Resto guide. Now, if you're already accustomed to all the ins and outs of the restaurant, here's the TLDR for what to sell. Number 1, you're gonna want to unlock the Light Kingdom cuisine and then S-rank butter bread as soon as possible. And then you want to sell that with commission vouchers as often as you can, and when you're not using commission vouchers, sell fruit tea or bird's nest. Then afterwards, you want to focus on upgrading your restaurant so that you can have more seats for more people. Repeat this until you can be considered okay with gold. And then you can transition into pineapple juice. This is around the time you have 5 resolute evolved Ume or Tsuchigumo FAs. And then you just rank in both weekly events and gain embers to save for summoning banners. Cool, now let's head off for the restaurant. If you look around in the video, you will see that it's in sections, so skip around in the timestamps to determine what you need. First off, what's the resto? From my experience, it's the area maintained by the food, from the food, for the food, to the customers. Don't ask. I only play because I like anime titties. But here's the gist. You have your customers, you have your mobs, you have your staff, and then you have your dishes. Now, the staff are hoes and they can be explained another day, but let's quickly give a rundown on what the rest of the resto includes. Number 1, the customers. The number of customers in your restaurant depends on the inflow found in the resto level tab. Keep this inflow to where your customers are smothering outside and you'll be at maximum capacity at all times. Number 2 is the occasional mobs, and now there are 2 mobs that you will encounter, and these are the rubes and the dine and dash. The rubes decrease inflow by 1%. They're like the next table down's order of stinky tofu. They suck, but they won't kill you. Now the dine and dash, these are the people who basically sit and talk at their table during rush hour in a buffet. They suck a little bit more than rubes, but at least you only get one of them at a time. Side note, if you have friends in the game, then you can also help your friends by dispelling their rubes. Also, if they ask for help, you can battle their dine and dash for them, and for every mob you help your friends with, you will gain 10 tips and 5k gold. Anyway, back to the resto, the dishes. This is gonna be the meat of what we're gonna talk about today. Get it? When your customers are served a dish, their dish's stats affect the amount of rewards you gain when they finish. Each dish has an income value and a potential fame value. I say a potential because fame is RNG. It's like the 5-star rating on Yelp. Not everybody does it, but it makes you happy when you do. Don't fret about the income though. Everybody has to pay. Now, there is also a third type of currency they can drop, and these are the tips. I'll elaborate more on how to use them efficiently in the part 2, but just know that you have a daily tip cap based on your resto level, and they are only used for the tip shop. Finally, we have fame. I'm sure you're wondering why fame is a thing and why there's even an entire ranking dedicated to it. Fame is used to upgrade your restaurant level, and this is important because at every interval of 2 levels, you will gain an extra seat in your restaurant. So with a higher restaurant level, you'll have more seats, which means more gold, and more potential for fame, which means higher resto, and it continues. Basically, fame is the meaning of life in the resto. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let's go into researching the dishes that your chefs could cook. Let's go over here to the research tab, and you'll see 4 sub-tabs, first of which being improve. Now here, you'll basically mass produce the dishes you plan to sell butter bread until you get them to the S rank so that they can be sold at the highest price and you'll have the best stats. Every time you cook a dish with ingredients, you gain XP for that dish. At certain fixed intervals of XP, you can rank your dish up from D, the beginning rank, up to S, the best rank. Now with more stats comes more profit, so it's essential that whatever you decide to sell at the restaurant is at the best rank it can be. Moving on to the develop tab, this is where you use your intelligent understanding of terribly translated hints of the ingredients to experiment with unique combinations to manifest brilliant and novel This is where you go to the wiki and copy paste everything you need. Third tab now, we have refine. The way this tab works is that once you've chosen your initial cuisine, after you develop all 30 of those dishes, you will come back here and you'll be able to unlock another cuisine. Now, it is important to note that this is an option. In fact, I discourage you from unlocking more cuisines because the game, after you unlock multiple cuisines, assumes that you have the resources to develop and make all of them. They will start appearing in your airship, your deliveries, balcony, nightmares, now Chao not happy. So I heavily suggest you unlock one cuisine, hopefully Light Kingdom, and then once you're set and have all of the dishes to at least B to A ranked, you can then expand into another cuisine. It'll make everything a lot smoother and you'll be better off, I promise. The 4th tab is magic food. Don't worry about it, it's just you're allowed to make caffeine and drug your staff and fallen angels. Cool stuff, next vid. So that's the entire process. How to upgrade recipes, where to find them, how to begin selling your souls to your food souls, and here are the top dishes for fame, which again, we want to sell to gain a higher resto level. Number 1, pineapple juice. This dude is a monster. It is a Gloryville cuisine and it makes people devour it with utensils. Absolutely horrifying, but it has the best fame to eat time ratio in the game and important for the people who don't need gold anymore. It will carry your fame to the next level. Number 2, butter bread, Light Kingdom. Now I've been hyping my boy butter bread and let me tell you why. This bread is bank, excellent fame to time ratio, and the 4th best profit to time ratio in the game. Unlike pea juice, it has the viable gold gain and it's beautiful. This man carried my whole early to mid game, and the only problem that you're gonna have is that you didn't sell more. Now 3, finally for our fallen Sakadajima cuisine choosers, we have cold tofu. It's alright, it's not bad. It's just not butter bread, and if you choose Sakurajima first, I'd suggest unlocking Blight Kingdom as soon as possible to get the bread boy. Sorry buds. Now if you haven't noticed, I'm using this term fame to time ratio. All of these dishes have one thing in common. They have amazing flavor, which translates to fame, and really short eating times. Think of it like a hentai protagonist. Anyway, the issue with really short last eating times is that in order for you to keep your resto selling for 24/7, you'd need to check in, theoretically, every 30 minutes or so to refill your stock of dishes. So, what do? I have 3 words for you. Commission, vouchers, haunt. Let's go. Top right, you can see the chef hat and fork, and when you click on it, they'll give you the option of choosing a manager to work your resto for a set period of time in exchange for commission vouchers. These managers do 3 things. Number 1, they keep your stinky tofus and buffet buffers out for the time that they are in use. Maximum capacity is to die for. Now 2, they keep your dishes from depleting in quantity. So even if you have 1 quantity of a dish, you can sell an infinite amount of that dish even though there's only 1 dish of it. And finally 3, they keep your staff's freshness from depleting. So you can keep them at work even if they're 3 weeks beyond their expiration date. And for the chefs, they won't lose freshness while cooking under the manager. These managers are so amazing. You know what? I'm gonna have my friend come and tell you guys how she uses them.
Hi, it's Dainty, and today we're on Chao's channel. Hello, Chao. Thank you for having me. So you can see I have bird's nest selling, and that is not actually what I usually sell. So right now my restaurant is empty and I want to start a 4-hour commission voucher. I'm gonna go here and I'm going to start selling a pineapple juice. It's the best recipe for fame. And then see, it's gonna take about 4 seconds to make, and we're just gonna go over here and start a commission voucher. There we go. I've gotten pretty good with the timing. And so now if I refresh my restaurant, it's gonna be full of pineapple juice. There you go, we already sold 17. And a little trick I like to do is that since my commission voucher lasts 4 hours, I like to make bird's nest with white fungus, and I set it to finish around when my commission voucher is gonna end. So here I'm making 588, and it's gonna finish in 4 hours and 12 minutes. So by the time my commission voucher is up, this is gonna be able to go out and take the place of whatever is selling here. I hope that made sense. Yeah, I'm gonna pass the mic back to Chao. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the mic, Dainty. But did you see that? How efficient and smooth her resto works with the commission vouchers? Absolutely beautiful. And she also introduced us to another concept, having dishes to sell with longer eating times prepared after the commission voucher is over. Commission vouchers are great, but like Dainty suggested, sometimes we don't come to the game immediately after they're done, or we just want to save our commission vouchers for resto events. In these cases, we can use foods with longer eating times to sustain our restaurant while the commission vouchers aren't being used. A majority of these dishes will come from the Lost Cuisine, a special cuisine whose dishes only unlock after completing side quests at certain player levels. For fame without commission vouchers, the best dish will be Wintermelon Soup Bowl, unlocked at level 103, but if you're not that high of a level yet, don't worry. There are substitute options such as fruit tea. Fruit tea is amazing since it has really nice gold as well, but its only downside is that its eating time is 270 seconds per dish rather than Wintermelon's 300. Now, I've only spoken about dishes that return high fame. I didn't elaborate on the best profit dishes since the number of seats, and therefore your fame and resto level, play a much greater role in how much gold you can produce. For example, if you have a high profit dish selling but only so few seats, then you'll have less gold than if you use a lower profit dish with more seats. However, if you already have a 24 plus-ish level in your restaurant, then you can use these dishes for the profit rankings. With commission vouchers, the best dishes for profit are going to be jellyfish with century egg or just sell butter bread. Without commission vouchers, it is going to be Wintermelon Soup Bowl again or bird's nest with fungus. Extra info on stat compositions. Each recipe has a main stat, the one with the greatest denominator. Seasoning helps boost this main stat quicker if it is flavor or appearance, but it isn't necessary. However, if the recipe's main stat is aroma or texture, seasoning will usually boost the other stat. If you had a texture main dish and you use seasoning, it would boost the aroma higher. And if you had an aroma main dish, it would upgrade the texture. And so for the dishes that main in texture and aroma, it is important to not use seasoning. As for the effects of those stats on the restaurant, here's a wonderful chart compiled by Wonton. By the way, the cumulative stats equal the XP. So you can see here we have 1.1k, then 100, 100, 100 about, and that goes to 1.5k over here. Also, you can see that S rank will cap at 3200. However, there is a trick that lets you go over the 3200 limit. First, get as close as you can to 3200 for your dish without actually hitting the cap. Then instead of making a 1 times more dish, make 10 times that dish. Although it is a small difference, these boosted stats will affect everyone who eats that dish. So that's it. That's all the information on dishes that you'll ever need to know for the restaurant. I'd like to credit Dainty Dumpling for helping me with both the outline and the guide that I'll leave in the description after my part 2, and the feature that she assisted me with in explaining commission vouchers.
I wanna get that stamina.
Thanks, Dainty. You can check it out in the side card or in the description below. Also, all of the information on the dishes, such as their gold and fame gain rates, was compiled by Sneaky, and I'll leave their enormous contribution to the food fantasy community in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your Resto rankings, and have a wonderful day. Now, part 2 is going to cover the staff effects, so be on the lookout for that. Ciao.